I think I went to cry. I went to the back to cry or something. I want to talk about meeting Beyonce, right? She smelled like lilies and daisy dust. I don't know, man.
What to you was failure as a child?
My son actually asked me, "Do you know my dad?" I don't like that guy. He's not a nice person.
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. You're going to be spending the day with me today at radio. We're going to have an amazing interview with Busiswa, Her Majesty, the Queen, and I cannot wait for the conversation. Do you remember when we first met? What happened?
I think you were a producer on Afro Cafe.
Yes.
Yes, and I think
you must tell the story first.
I don't know. I remember it like very slightly. Like I was with the semi-live band, and I was supposed to play, well, according to me, with a DJ backtrack. And when I arrived, there was no CDJs for a DJ to play the backtrack, and you were like, no. Do it 100% live, Mokel. I'm like, what do you mean?
No,
my sister.
I'm going to give even
my sister,
more detail.
Please.
So it was supposed to be a 3-piece band,
yes.
Right? So it was going to be percussion and a guitarist and then pianist and I think a possible DJ. But I think that was my first season producing the show. And you were so panicked. It was early on in your career.
Yeah.
And the pianist hadn't arrived or didn't have his piano, and then you were like, sorry guys, I can't. And I remember pulling you aside. I said, girl, get it together. Because you were like, I've never done with a guitar and just percussion. I was like, you're a performer, get it together, suck it up and do it, because you don't want to lose the opportunity. And you were so panicked, and then you killed it.
That time, I think I went to cry. I went to the back to cry or something.
When I went to the team, because they're like, so what's happening? I was like, I might have scared her off. So let's just be prepared.
I was scared.
No, because I literally was like, yeah, get it together. You can do this. Just get on stage. Like, the way I was like, I might have scared her, or we might not have a performance. And my boss at the time was like, what did you say? I said, no, I just needed to get it together, girl. I just want to touch on your relationship with Moonchild, because earlier we were playing My Power, and I want to ask, when Beyonce's team contacted you, did you know that Moonchild was going to be on the same project?
No.
Oh my gosh, I need the story of when you guys found out you're both going to be on the song, because there are artists even on the new album who say you record and you never know if you're going to make the cut.
Yeah.
So when did you find out that, oh my gosh, you're both on the song? And I want to know what that conversation went like.
So when I was asked to record My Power, I was in studio here around Rosebank.
Yes.
And when the call came in, okay, there's the song, there's a beat, there's the Lion King, the Gift project. So I already know about, the upcoming Beyonce project, as everybody else already knows that Beyonce is doing the music for the Lion King. So they said to me, okay, we want you to try, something. I was like, send the beat right now, please. My sister, I'm in studio, extract. So I get the beat. I get an NDA first, because now you can't obviously talk about it. And then I get the beat. And I think about 7 or 8 different verses.
I believe you, because you want to ensure and one of them.
I'm just like, hey, as long I gave the variety. After that, it was like, okay, it's coming out in 2 weeks. There was very little time left. On the day before, I think, or on the day before, or on the day that it was supposed to come out, we got a call. I got a call to listen over the phone. I didn't get sent the song.
No, because
I had to listen over the phone for the final, and they're like, "Are you in a quiet place? You need to sit down, and because we're gonna play it, and we're gonna play it once or twice if you want, but like we're not going to send it to you, just so you know what the song sounds like." And they played it for me, and I hear my part comes with, and I'm like, "Ay man,
this sounds like,
ay man, Moonchild, what Rebecca? Yes, I joga. Hey, Jogger, hey, cause the girls are up. Cause the girls are up.
So the first time you saw each other, was it just
Yeah, so now we're like, you sneaky, huh?
And what I love is because the both of you go back so far back. So to find out in that way, did it feel like a full circle moment of you guys doing like poetry?
Definitely, I think the one that was even more, paramount as a full circle moment was when we went to shoot the video in LA, and we had taken different flights because she was coming from somewhere else, I was coming from somewhere else. But it was my first time on first class.
Hey!
And Kenoko, Siafika Payana, at the hotel. We arrived at different times, but we met up, I think, on the roof or something, because we were on WhatsApp, like, are you coming in? So we went to meet up on the roof overlooking LA, and we're like, yo, Chobi, we're in the top floor, Kengo, what you mean? And then I want to talk about meeting Beyonce, right? Nothing could have prepared me, first of all, but secondly, what an amazing, incredible, when you meet someone, you're like, I completely understand why you are where you are. Nobody can do what you do this way. She was directing the video herself. At first, they didn't reveal that to us. And when I started shooting, then she walked up to me, and she was wearing a flowing yellow dress, with the low neckline. And, she smelled like lilies and daisy dust. I don't know, man. It was beautiful. And she walked up to me after I'd done my first scene with Jaquel, the choreographer. And the choreographer was like, okay, that's cool. And then Beyonce walked up, and I was like, oh, she's here. And she came to me and she said, oh, girl, you're a beast.
Your verse in that song, especially if obviously they would have received translations and whatever.
Yes, from me, yeah.
Yes, but
yeah.
I'm sure to somebody who doesn't understand, you are summoning spirits.
Yes, and
I that's why
that.
she was saying, yay!
Yes. And actually, after I explained that, I explained everything, because I tried to give context as well, right, to them, and not just give a direct translation only. And after I gave the context, the response was, okay, great. Now, can you actually write poetry for the movie Black is King? So I don't know if a lot of people miss it because it's just poetry. There's poetry in Black is King.
What?
It's me.
I did not know this.
And I was just like, damn, this lady just wants to give me more money.
I'm sorry, please look at my goosebumps, my skin and my hair.
Yeah, so
because the same girl who said, sorry, I can't do it because there's no pianist and no CDJs, years later was like, yes, I can do it. What to you was failure as a child?
I had a grandmother who was an academic, but also a nurse, and then a matron, and then a lecturer later. She was very lovingly and encouraging. She was pushing me all the time, but in a very loving way. And I got really good marks at school, guys. I was like an A student. I was like top one.
I love how you're telling us.
Top 1 or 2.
Because people think, oh, dumb. You're like,
yes.
I really do.
No, I actually, yes. People do think I am not very, intelligent. Because I make fun music. They think, you know what I mean? People think automatically if it's fun, it must be dumb. So I was always like either first or second throughout. And my grandmother, never once, I've never heard her speak about what if you fail. She was always on the side of, you're gonna do it, you're gonna do great, it's gonna be amazing. So when I didn't do well at something, like academically especially, it always felt like I was letting her down. And I think it kind of fueled my people pleaser side. I just always wanted to do best for them, for my mother, for my grandmother, for my family, and everybody's always watching. And I think even now as an artist, it's like everyone is always watching. You must make a big hit, you must chart, you must you must be here, you must be doing this. They don't expect you to be for example, chilling at home on a weekend. It's like, why aren't you busy, why aren't you at the club, or why aren't you at gigs, or what, you know what I mean? It's like, for me, failure has always been something that I don't internalize, but I always feel like just because someone else is watching, I have to do well, so it's kind of like fueling people pleaser tendencies. But it's always, my life has always been about for someone else. I mean, I'm very content with myself, but I tend to want to do well, for the next person. My son is 6 years old now. I think I had a conversation with him in person for the first time since he was born, or since we broke up. And it's interesting because I didn't think I had it in me to forgive, what he had done to me. This is abuse-wise. But I really am considering it. My son actually asked me, do you know my dad? And I was like, yes, I know your dad. And he said, what? When is he going to visit us? I'm like, never. and he said, why? It's like, no, man, I don't like that guy. He's not a nice person. And then he said, oh, okay. So now...
so he doesn't remember?
He doesn't... He's got no picture of... He's got no idea of us in the same room. It's not in his memory. It's not in his portfolio of, And I had a conversation with him in person for the first time, I think, in years. And... a friend of mine took a picture and showed it to my son, a very close friend of mine. You see, this is your parents. They are talking. And my son was so happy, And I thought, peace is possible then, for the sake of this child's happiness. I mean, sure, I need to draw boundaries. I need to know how far I can go. I need to protect myself, and my triggers need to be respected by myself and by anyone around me, and by the father of my child as well. And but I definitely think peace and harmony is possible, and in my mind it never was until this year.
I'm so glad you remember that Afro Cafe day, because I said, listen, get it together. I said, there's a whole crew. This is your chance. You might never get it.
I was
get
like,
it together.
I was like, I can't.
She was. No, I pulled her.
And we've been trying to get her for over 2 months just to get her inside the studio.